So if you guys don't remember, my name is Eric Du, and hi guys. I'm 24 years old, and I graduated from the University of Illinois with a bachelor's in economics. So we're just gonna jump right in. So what would you guys say is one of the biggest issues that students face today when dealing with their schoolwork? Okay, what else? What else?
Procrastination.
Right, procrastination. So to be honest, procrastination is like a big problem that even adults face today, and it's a bad habit that we all can work to change. So let me just share a little story about myself. After high school, when I decided to go to college, I didn't know what I wanted to do with my life, so I went into college with an undecided major. So during my first semester as a freshman, I didn't really know that many people, so I would stay in my room and play video games and just talk to my high school friends, kind of on Xbox Live and all that. Okay. So after my first semester, I decided I didn't want to be that guy just sitting in his room all day, so I decided to join a fraternity. So right. So I wanted to join this fraternity so that I could have a group of friends that were like the same close group of friends I had in high school. So in my sophomore and junior year, my priority was a fraternity. So there was a lot of meeting new people, partying of course, and just not doing my schoolwork very well. Okay. And then fast forward another year at the end of my junior year, I decided that while I did have a lot of fun these last 2 years, I should start thinking about life after college, right? Because all the fun that I was having wasn't really going to prepare me for the real world. Okay. Okay, so this is just a basic overview of what we're going to talk about today. So what is time management? Can anyone give me a quick definition? Yes?
Time management is managing your time.
Okay, that's right. All right. So this is the dictionary definition of time management. It's kind of long and hard to understand, so we don't have to read through that. So basically what time management is balancing your time spent on your needs versus your wants, all right?
Amen.
So why is this time management skill important? Okay. Since I was an econ major, there was a term that we always use. It's called opportunity cost, right? So basically what that means is weighing the pros and cons of any decision that you make. Okay. So as an econ major, I like to think about things theoretically. So as Ben Franklin says, he says, remember that time is money, right? If we think about time in terms of money, and let's say after you graduate high school or college and you're working a job, then you make $25 an hour, right? So theoretically, every hour that you don't work, you're not making that $25, so you're losing it, right? So if we think about it this way, everything we do outside of work that's not making us money, we need to think about, is this worth $25 an hour to us? So, for example, let's say I spend 2 hours just playing video games after work, right? Are those 2 hours worth $50 to us? Maybe? Maybe to some of us it is. But let's say I spend 2 hours spending time with my family. Is that worth $50? Yes. Yes, your answer should always be yes, right? Because your family's priceless and it's the only one you got. And then what if, instead of spending 2 hours playing video games with our family, we spend 2 hours learning a new skill that helps us in our careers or further our lives, or better our lives, right? Is that worth it? Is that worth the $50? Yes. So spending that 2 hours may potentially increase your hourly worth at work, right? You learn a new skill, you get promoted, and now you make $35 or $45 an hour. So basically, what I'm trying to say here is, I'm not saying that you should have no fun, but we should do everything in a balance, right? So if there's one thing that I want everyone to get out of this workshop is that we kind of think about time in a different perspective. Right? So time must be managed like our money. You only have limited amount. Okay. So planning. Okay. Sorry. Why is it important for us to have a plan? So if you think about going somewhere in a car and you're driving to a destination, would you go without a map or a GPS? No, right? So we can apply the same principle to our lives. So what it says up here, you can always change your plan, but only once you have one, right? So if you're going along in life without a plan, if something unexpected happens, then what do? You don't know, right? Okay. So if you have a plan written down and you start veering off that plan, you always have something to go back to get you back in line. So like a roadmap, a plan, there's always more than one way to get to the end goal. Okay. So let's talk about some ways we can implement our plans. So to-do lists. Everyone knows what to-do lists are. I know they're kind of an old school thing.
No, they're not. I love making lists.
Okay. I don't, but so schools always give out planners and agendas, and a lot of times, especially myself, I didn't write things down in my planner. But instead, we just store it in our brains, right? So now this works for some people, but I feel like if you write things down and you're able to cross one item at a time off while you can accomplish them, then it makes you feel like you actually did something, right? So let's see. So with to-do lists, you should try and break things down into small steps. So let's say you have a paper to write and you just see the end product, right? But if you break things down to small steps like, oh, I have to first research and then write the intro and then the body and conclusion step by step, then it's easier to, it's less overwhelming than thinking about the whole thing altogether. So the way I like to do things is when I make a to-do list, you do the ugliest thing first, or the thing you don't like doing first. So technology. Do you guys have any technology that you guys use for time management? No? What do you use, Karen?
There's this thing called self-control. It's super useful. Basically, you type in the website that you can't go on because of the time. So I'll set it for like 5 hours, right? So I'll type in Facebook, I'll type in Tumblr, I don't know, YouTube, I don't know YouTube, but yeah. Right, so then I'll type those in, and then it sets the lock, and like whenever I try to go to that page, it's blocked. And like even if you break your computer, it won't unlock until 5 hours is up. And it's like an app, I have a MacBook, so I just put it on my Mac, and it helps me every time I do the paper. I can't go on anything for 5 hours or 3 hours.
Okay.
That's something I do.
And what is that called again?
It's called self-control.
Self-control. Okay.
Yeah,
I might have to use that. Okay, so some of the examples that I have up here are Dropbox, right? If you have a central location for everything that you do, like your schoolwork or maybe even your personal files, you can use Dropbox to basically access it anywhere you go, on your phone, on your laptops, and your computers at home. And then I put Google Drive up here. I think this is a great tool because they have many different types of products in Google Drive. The one that I like to use most often is Google Calendar because you can lay out your week, your month, and set the due dates. And you can also set reminders for those due dates. And then Evernote, I'm not sure if everyone knows what this is, but it's a great note-taking tool, and you can also create to-do lists within there. Okay. So what is that big thing, the big issue that we all face, right, is procrastination. So it's really easy for us to get stressed out if we don't manage our time well. And if we have a lot to do and we put it off last minute, this kind of leads to us feeling very overwhelmed and frustrated. So what can we do to try and prevent this? So to start off, what is procrastination? Simply, as Edward Young says, procrastination is a thief of time. So what can cause us to procrastinate, right? So here's just some examples. Yes?
Oh, I was going to say social media.
Social media?
For me, yeah.
Okay, that's one of them. So I'll just go through a couple of them. So texts, emails, phone calls, social media, like you said. So examples are Facebook, Instagram, and Snapchat, right? So in order to work on not procrastinating, we need to try to reduce the frequency and length of these interruptions, right? So instead of answering texts or emails or phone calls right away, like it's the most urgent thing in the world, we should set a specific time in the day where we use these types of media. So how can we manage our procrastination? So number one, we should be aware of the habits and thoughts that lead to procrastination. So basically, think about a time that you procrastinate. For example, writing a paper or studying for a test, right? Why are you procrastinating? Is the task too hard? Is it something that you think you're going to fail in? Or do you simply just not like doing the task, right? If you're able to identify the trigger that causes you to procrastinate, then it's a step in trying to fix that. And then number two, set realistic goals. So basically, what this means is just keep your goals and expectations realistic. While I'm not saying that you can't shoot for high goals, but also set smaller goals as milestones so that you can reach that bigger goal. And then number three, discipline yourself to the priorities you set. So it's one thing to just to have priorities, but it's another to follow through with them, right? You can have a list of things that you want to do, but if you don't do them, then what's the point? And then number four, tackle issues in small blocks of time instead of trying to solve the whole problem at once. So instead of charging into a problem head on, we have to keep a calm mind and then take a step back and plan our way through the nitty-gritty stuff, right? This helps us not get overwhelmed and it helps us not get overwhelmed. All right. And then just a summary. So set goals and plan, right? If you don't have a goal or a plan to get to those goals, then it's hard to know what you're doing or what you want to do. And then prioritize those plans and goals based on how important they are. So family should come pretty high up, and then maybe friends and homework and school and all that. Okay. And then maybe utilize some of the tools and resources that I showed you, like Dropbox or Google Drive, or maybe you have other tools that you use. And then reduce distractions, right? So we talked about setting a specific time to check your emails, texts, and Facebook. And then lastly, just take action, right? If you don't do anything to try and manage your time, then nothing's going to change. So you actually have to do something and start planning and start writing things down before anything will change. Okay. So then now we have a little activity. You guys want to help me? So take out your notebook and a blank sheet of paper.
Are you going to model it first?
Yeah, I'll model it. Okay. You don't have to fold it, not yet. Yeah. So basically, I want you to map out a typical day of your life, right? So, for example,
Before you do it though, we're going to show you our example. So
yeah.
it would make no sense to do a time management chart incorrectly.
Right.
Okay.
So we're gonna write out tasks that we do in our daily lives and put a lot amount of time that it takes to complete that task. So we all sleep, right? So sleep should be one of the top things. How much do you guys usually sleep? 6 hours, 7 hours? I don't know.
How many hours do you guys sleep, honestly? 2 hours?
2 hours?
Okay, it's not possible.
Okay, on
9?
average,
Blessed. Let's do like 6
yeah.
to 7.
On
5 to
average,
7 maybe.
on average, people sleep around 7 hours a day, right? They try to at least.
Okay. All right.
Maybe 5 hours on weekdays and 12 hours on weekends.
12 hours?
Right? Okay.
All right.
And then, so what else? You guys go to school, right? How long do you guys go to school for?
It's like 8 hours, isn't it?
8 hours?
Like 8 to 3 or something.
Okay, let's just say 8 hours,
8
right?
hours. All right, how many hours is that gone just on sleep in school?
15.
15. How
That's
many
already
hours
like a
on
third of your day, right?
24. Okay.
Okay, what else? What else can we add to this list?
What do we do after?
Eat,
All right, we snack.
right? How long does lunch or dinner or breakfast take for you guys total eating?
5 minutes for 3 meals? 4 hours? Like 3 hours. This is really extreme.
Okay, we'll put 3 hours.
All right, fine. 3 hours.
Total.
Fine. This includes snacking.
Right, so this includes dinner, lunch, breakfast, snacking,
Okay,
anytime that you're eating, right?
All right, 18 hours gone. We have 24. We have 24. How many hours do we have left?
6,
I'm
yeah.
a math student.
Okay. What else? So, homework?
Oh snap! It's homework.
How long does it take you to do homework?
It depends on the grade. I know. Like 5 hours? Half an hour?
5.
4 hours? So let's do maybe 2 to 5, 2 to 4.
Okay, I'll put 3
I
hours
don't
then.
want to put any hours since we only have 6 left.
All right, this is the
3
point.
hours?
Yeah.
All right, fine.
All right. Family time? Do you actually spend time with your families?
After school activity.
What else?
So.
Maybe video games, right?
You guys gotta be honest. What do you? If you only have 3 hours left in your day, would you guys? I know you guys play video games. We also have to do social media, Facebook, chatting, talking to people, having a social life.
All right, what about TV
Someone said showering.
or Netflix?
Showering and like.
Right, that low.
All right, fine. We're gonna put bathroom needs. You know what? Why don't we just put needs? I don't know what your needs are, but everyone has them. All right.
All right, how long does it take us to do that? Shower, get ready, 2 hours, an hour?
2 hours?
That's good.
Like what? Let's put 1.
1 hour.
5 minutes. 1. Showering, brushing your teeth. 5 minutes. You have no hygiene.
Are we over our time
Like
limit?
looking at yourself, putting on your clothes, loving your reflection.
So how much do we have so far? Let's say we just do 1, 1, and 1, right?
All right.
Is that too many?
All right. Do we have enough time in the day to do all this stuff? No.
That's 10, that's 21, 22, 23, 24, 25. We're an hour over, right? That's true, I guess.
Those last 3 on the bottom are lumped together.
Yeah. Into 3 hours. No, but I don't know who spend like 4 hours playing video games.
Definitely.
Then you want to watch TV, right?
Yeah, it's either.
Okay, I legitimately spend 3 hours on social media every day. Same.
Right. The thing with social media, it's probably during these times, right? School and work.
Or homework. So if we don't have enough time in the day, we literally don't have 24 hours, what happens in reality? How do we make time for the stuff we want to do? You don't sleep. Right, we take away from sleep. What else do we take away from?
Eating.
Homework. Eating. Homework. Eating. Homework. Needs? No,
Needs?
sure. Yeah. Homework.
Okay.
Yeah, I think this is the most common one.
That's it.
All right, what are some things that we should have on this list that we don't have on our list usually?
So, extracurricular activities.
All right, fine, we can do extracurriculars. Being active. I think Emily, you said family time. Do you agree, Eric?
I agree, yeah.
Family time? Yeah, I am. Okay. Anything else we should have on this list that we don't? Yeah. Oh, traveling. Well, we don't cut out traveling, so
You
that
can
means.
factor that into school.
Like your commute, right?
All right.
How long it takes you to get to school and work?
Yeah, like, what else? Oh, but then actually that's like social media, isn't it? Oh, in real life.
School.
Oh, like in person? All right. Nice. Who here has a hobby they wish they were better at? So for me, I wish I was a better dancer.
Say.
Whoever, I don't know, like photography maybe. Although you know a lot of photography, right? How many hours do you spend taking photos or doing photography stuff? Be honest.
A day.
Like editing photos, taking photos, going out to take photos?
5 hours.
5 hours? Intense. Yeah. His photos are really good, so it requires a lot of time. What about like people who want to like practice music, make music, play piano, things that you want to be better at? Okay. For me, I don't have time to do that stuff in the day. Things I want to get to and that are probably good for me, I don't get to. What about you, Eric? Anything else?
Well, personally for me, I've actually wanted to get into real estate investing. So actually, I spend at least an hour a day either reading about real estate or listening to podcasts about real estate.
Yeah.
I mean, that's kind of boring, I know, but
So this actually literally ties into goals.
right.
How much time do we spend reaching our goals?
Or planning for our goals, right? Planning.
You know what? Why don't we do this? You're supposed to be planning wrong.
Eh.
Okay. So this is our messed up list.
All right, now you guys, I want you guys to create your own list, right?
Ideally,
Wait, on like what day?
Okay.
Like,
On a typical weekday.
no, but like it depends. Like if it's a
a
Monday.
Wednesday.
A Wednesday.
Pick any day.
Yeah, on average. So ideally, you would want to have 2 time charts, right? Reality versus ideal. And maybe some of you want to write for ideal like 24 hours gaming, but you just took a class on goals, so you can't write that. Okay? Reality versus ideal.
Okay.
Okay.
So we can take 5 to 10 minutes to just
Yeah,
make that list.
I literally map out your day, honest about it. It's gonna like give you a lot of insight into how you live.
School was 6 hours.
我们现在要设计我们自己的时间表，时间表。从我们睡觉起来到晚上睡觉的时候，right？我们看一
What are
天
you
有
writing
24
down?
个钟点。
I'm working on it.
所以我们要设计2个，一个是我们现在的 schedule， 现在的时间表，要老师的。然后呢，第2个时间表就是我们应该活的时间表。然后呢，要好好想，你的目标是什么？你要花多少时间每天去达到你的目标？然后你有没有现在在你的时间表里面有没有达到？有没有做到这几个钟头？所以睡觉就已经7个钟头了，然后上学就8个钟头了，还有吃饭、洗澡、功课，然后空档的时间我们都在干嘛？
This is part 2. It's gonna be part 2.
Oh, okay. What is the part 2 again?
I did that time management grid. So
What?
time management grid. So they're gonna take this
okay.
list and place it in that grid
Oh, okay.
by urgency and importance.
That's a good one.
Well, I do that at work.
looking for?
Raise your hand if you need more time.
Okay.
Few more minutes.
I'll give you guys 2 more minutes. Is everyone almost done? Need more time? Shut up. All right, all right. So we're gonna move on. Hello. All right. So just take a look at your list and then add up all the hours, right? Does anyone have extra time in their days?
Extra time.
Extra time, so
Nobody.
nobody, right? So most of us have so much on our plates that if we want to do everything in one day, we can't fit it, right? So take a look at what you do in your free time. How many hours are you spending, or how many hours of free time do you have to do things for fun, or play video games, or watch TV, social media?
I feel like
Anyone?
on average it's like 4 hours.
4 hours?
3 to 4 hours of free time that we use.
Okay, so instead of doing those things, what could you do instead, right?
But like Eric said, it's not like you shouldn't go on social media or you shouldn't like play video games, right? I think the question is, are we doing too much of it?
Right.
Doing too little of something else?
So basically, what this activity does is it makes you think about your day and how we should have a good balance of things that we need to do and things that we want to do. Now, there's a second part to this activity. I want you to make a grid that looks like this, And in quadrant 1, I want you to take the activities that you listed and put the ones that are immediate and urgent in that quadrant 1. And then in quadrant 2, we want to put the long-term planning things. So if you do any hobbies or learning a new skill or practicing your cello or fencing, I know some of you guys do that. And then quadrant 3 is for time-sensitive activities, but they're not super important, right? For example, let's say, maybe to some people, but if you have plans with your friends a certain day, maybe it's important to your friend, but you don't necessarily have to go. You can always change your plans, right?
Or like, if you get a phone call from your best friend, phone call from that guy or girl you like, right? It's not important, but it's urgent. You gotta pick up, you either pick it up or you don't pick it up.
Right. And then for quadrant number 4, it's just basically everything else. So things that you do for fun and stuff like that. All right. So go ahead and put those activities in each quadrant.
And what's something that you would put in not important and not urgent?
Something like watching TV, right? It's not urgent and you don't really have to do it.
For me, I'd put napping. Bad problem.所以我们现在这个 activity 第二部分就是要把我们整天所有做的东西放在这个新的表格呀 ，OK， 所以这边呢是重要，然后就是很急 ，right， 就时间限制，对不对？所以重要跟不重要，然后很急，然后不急 ，right， 所以呢这边就是重要然后又急的东西数下来。So 我这边我会放 maybe like school 学校 ，right， 然后这边是重要但是不急，可能像有些人喜欢拉琴啊，或是学什么新的东西，然后这边是不重要，然后很急，像有人打电话给你，或是人家约你出去，对不对？这有时间限制，然后这是不急，然后也不重要，把它全部数下来。
Keep in mind, like each person's grid is going to be different to themselves. What you think is important versus what someone else.
There's really no right or wrong answer to this. It's just for yourself.
Self-awareness.
Someone just scroll it up.
Just leave it with her.
This is like a problem.
I gotta budget it.
You have to take away from other things.
No, I did, but I added 1 more hour this week. So that's how sleep. No, but then your ideal. Yeah. I nothing.
That's our ideal. One more hour in the day, right?
This is your reality, you say? It's very different. It is actually.
It's not a Tuesday, Karen.
for me, it's like social media and things.
All right, is everyone almost about done? Yeah? All right, so we're just gonna wrap up this activity.
You guys can finish the activity later, and if you need more help, we can talk about it too.
All right, so why am I making you guys do this? What's the point? Is there any point? There is. So the bottom line is we should try and do the most important things first, right? Things in quadrant 1 and 2. So take a look at your list and kind of think about what you do on a typical day and where the reality is in your prioritization of these items.
I actually am curious about something. Does anyone want to come up and share their daily day? I'm really curious. Like a Monday? No!
Average day.
Like an average day. Anyone want to? I'm curious. We're all like so different here. We have people into like
A lot of like athletic people,
yeah, athletic
musical
musical people, creative people, like photography and the arts, and like no one wants to come up. Alex.
See, Brett.
Alex, if you come up, you have to do a backflip or something. She's so good at gymnastics. You want to write? Every child wants to write in chocolate. It's a dream.
Do you want a microphone? Yeah. Is there another eraser?
You guys should have push-up contests with her. I can do one. Wow.
Yes. Emily, you be my challenger.
Yeah, I'm not very good at math. So bad. It's been more than 2 hours. Honestly, it's so bad. You can talk about it. It's a lot. Right.
Alright, you guys kind of see like your schedule looks like her schedule.
Hold on, guys. What's her name?
Alex.
Oh, I'm so bad.
You said it.
Oh, yeah.
Emily.
Wait, but then like gym, like you mean your gymnastics gym?
Yeah, gymnastics.
4 hours.
Not gym class. I get like home there. I'm freshman.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh no. We should be good job.
Yeah. But he's like, oh no. He's like one of those kids that was sick on me.
So because Alex is a gymnast, she spends 4 hours dedicated to her art. Right? Sunny, you said photography 5 hours for you? Right, so Hugh put photography here. Anybody else have like some kind of like art or something that they practice for 4 hours? Emily? Drawing. Okay, anybody else? What do you put here? You're not a gymnast, but I know. Oh, how much do you have today?
Like 1 or 2 hours twice. No. Every other week.
2 hours every other week? You said that's a lot more, Tiger.
Yeah, I used to do gymnastics a lot more, but that's my whole entire.
So can you describe your quadrant for us?
Sorry.
There's a lot of these, right?
That's very little sleep.
Yeah, I don't sleep a lot.
Alright guys, shh. Alright, let's go over it.
Okay, so I have school for 7 hours, which is pretty standard. Gym, I have 4, like including the time to drive there, which is half an hour, so I usually get 3 hours of actual practice, 3 hours of homework. I stay up until 1 or 2 doing homework.
Do you finish every day?
Yes,
Finish your
my
homework.
mom has a policy, I guess, if I don't. And eating 2 hours, because I like to take my time. And sleeping 4 hours, I don't really think that's like important for like me right now. But
Okay, take note everybody who says they sleep 12 hours.
and needs for 2 hours because sleeping.
Okay.
And my phone, I think it's actually more. But yeah, this is around 2 hours.
Is this 24 hours right here?
Oh yeah.
Okay, so if phone is actually more, what do you cut out?
I cut out homework, which is really bad.
So you sleep later. Cool, thanks.
Can you go over your quadrant really quick?
Oh my god.
What's important, what's not important?
Or you can just say it. You can just say it.
urgent is like needs and eating.
None.
And the important but non-urgent is sort of like sleeping. And oh wait, I forgot the gymnastics.
What's gymnastics fall for you?
Important but not urgent.
Important but not urgent.
And phone is not important but not urgent. But
Okay.
I still do a lot of it.
Yes.
Not good.
We usually do the most of that.
the same exact clip for every.
Okay. Let's not air out our dirty laundry.
No, there's this one really funny like YouTube video you should really watch.
Okay, we can show it later, maybe during lunch.
No,
Wait,
no,
wait,
I
wait,
won't.
Mac.
Yes.
Can you like talk about what you would do differently from what your reality is to what you want to do, like your hope?
Oh, okay. So I can't really change school,
Yeah.
but for homework I like to do up to 4 hours.
Okay.
Limit my time to around 1.5 hours a day.
Okay.
Phone 0.5.
So much.
And read is like 1 hour, which is sort of hard because I like showering time.
And the shower.
Sleeping, I would be like 7.
Man, all right. Good luck with that.
Yeah.
Thanks, Alex.
Okay. Sure. Okay, thank you, Alex. So there's just one last point that I want to make before I end this class. Important point. See the gold star? That means it's important. So you don't find time for important things. You make time, right? So what does this mean in other words? Anyone? Yes.
Maybe you don't see it, but you have to rearrange your schedule to have the time for it. Even if it doesn't look like it's there, and you're like, oh, I don't have time.
Right. So just kind of an example in my life. Since my family all lives in Chicago and I'm here in New Jersey, I had to take time out of my week to make sure I call my mom so she knows I'm okay, and you know how parents are. So that's an example for me.
Questions?
Okay, last slide. Questions?
Does anyone have like problems with time management that they want the whole class to like kind of go through and figure out the ideal for them? All right, so the next week you guys all better be like super awesome at time management.
It takes time. It honestly does. Yeah.
It's not going to change overnight. It's a long process.
The other thing is like people talk about how habits, it takes like 21 days before something becomes a habit, right? So like, yeah, we can wake up tomorrow and be like, all right, today I'm gonna do all these things. But then by like the end of the week, I'm gonna lose motivation, I guess. So for it to become a habit, you gotta like keep pushing through it and then just gotta do it. You know, sometimes it's like ugly stuff that he talks about, but you just gotta like get through it.
It's like proven 21 days is a habit. So if you don't brush your teeth, you gotta brush your teeth for 21 days to make it a habit. No, seriously, it's proven. What?
I think everyone brushes their teeth.
How do you know?
No one's listening to you.
The 5 minutes with the needs, obviously you don't brush your teeth.